A lot is happening here because the Natasha Cloud and Enes Kanter confrontation has now pulled several former NBA players into the conversation. Kenyon Martin and Stephen Jackson have weighed in, while Shannon Sharpe criticized Kanter's basketball career. Joe Johnson, however, pushed back on that point and defended Kanter's abilities as a player. The courtside incident itself also sparked major debate. Cloud approached Kanter after scoring, pointed toward him, and the exchange became heated before security intervened. Online reactions quickly framed the moment in different ways, but the footage shows a tense verbal confrontation rather than the simple narrative some people were pushing. Now, the discussion has grown beyond what happened courtside. Kanter's presence, his views on women's sports, and the comments from former NBA players have all become part of the debate. And after Shannon Sharpe questioned Kanter's career, Joe Johnson's response added another layer to the story.
Top of the morning, people. Just here to address the thing or two. Enes Kanter. Initially, people was rocking with the point that you were trying to make, and forcing the WNBA into make certain decisions. And that's their right and their business. But I think you made your point then. Harassing them at the game, you know it's a sensitive topic for them. Like, it was a little much, my brother. It was a little much, and uncalled for. And you are a voice now of certain things, and people tend to pay attention now because of the stink that you made initially declaring for the WNBA draft, which you're right, but let's not make a mockery of the WNBA, man. Let's not make a mockery of the trans community. Those are people, man. They have family, they have lives, they have loved ones, and they deserve your utmost respect, man. You can do what you're doing and say what you're saying from afar. Let them be. They are doing their job. They're not bothering you. So let's find someone else to bother, man. Leave them alone. Showing up in their place of business, man, it's uncalled for. It's childish. Yeah. Let them be, man. Let them do their job in peace. Y'all have a good one.
Man, y'all gotta stop the clown. I got daughters. I played basketball on the highest level. One on the highest level. Matter of fact, I won on every level. There's no woman that could ever play in the NBA, bro. Ever. And we've had some great women basketball players, but none of them were good enough to play in the NBA because it's men. A man should not belong in no women's sports because the ones that saying they should, y'all gonna be out of jobs. Then what you gonna say? You gonna have 2 NBAs? No, bro. No. Y'all not making no sense. Y'all trying to make it about Enes Kanter. He trying to protect women's basketball. I don't understand what the problem is with him. Black people have been identifying as free and equal for how long? Half of y'all still ain't accepted that. So y'all want people to accept a grown man with balls that's going to play in women's sports and just accept that he a woman? No, man, I got daughters, and other fathers that got daughters agree with me. You don't want no man in women's sports. This is clown.
He gonna run the Fox. Then he gonna run the Fox News and talk about, see, this is what I'm talking about. They're not inclusive. They don't want to. They want to have their cake and eat it too, and yada 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 yada. If you were good, you still be in the NBA.
Yeah. So he wasn't good when he played.
No, that's why he's not playing.
He was
his own home country don't want him back.
Yeah. Huh? Hold on. For a minute though, he was solid, Uncle Ocho.
Yeah.
He wasn't no damn superstar, nothing like that, Ocho. But
he was a good role player.
Yeah, great. Yeah, he was a good role player.
There's a courtside moment at the center of this, but the real story turned out to be everything that came after it. Enes Kanter freedom isn't a stranger to controversy. His outspoken political stances, particularly regarding Turkey, have followed him for years and even brought real personal risk. So when a heated exchange broke out between him and WNBA player Natasha Cloud, it was never going to stay confined to basketball. What actually happened courtside matters here. Cloud approached him, words escalated, Kanter stood up, and security stepped in before anything physical occurred. Nothing more than that. No swing, no shove, just tension that got diffused fast. But the video didn't stay in that moment. Shannon Sharpe weighed in, and in doing so seemed to brush past something worth acknowledging: Kanter's actual NBA resume. This isn't a guy who floated through the league. He had a stretch averaging close to 18 points and 10 rebounds a game, a level plenty of players who make it to the NBA never reach. Reactions split fast. Kenyon Martin and Stephen Jackson pushed back mainly on how the confrontation was being described, insisting the "he was about to fight her" narrative didn't match what the video actually showed. Ryan Clark took a different angle entirely, calling Kanter a clown for the position he was taking, which is really where this stopped being about one interaction and became about something bigger. Because underneath the courtside clash is the debate Kanter's actually trying to have: whether biological sex should factor into eligibility standards in women's sports, given differences in strength, size, and speed that can affect competition. He's made clear he's not interested in giving the answer that keeps him out of headlines, and he said this hits personal, since he has daughters who play sports, and he thinks about what these policies could mean if they compete at a higher level someday. He's also pushed back directly on people drawing a parallel between this fight and the history of racial discrimination in the US, arguing the comparison doesn't hold. Whether people agree with him or think he should have stayed quiet, that's exactly the point he seems to be making. That disagreement doesn't have to vanish just because a topic makes people uncomfortable. What started as a tense sideline moment has turned into a much bigger conversation about fairness, identity, religion, and how willing people actually are to challenge ideas that feel settled. And that conversation isn't close to over.